What is up, you guys? OP13 is right around the corner, and I'm really excited for all the options it brings. Zoro and Sanji is a 4-life, 5,000 power leader with one fantastic effect. If they have a Dawn attached, when you attack, you can bounce one of your 2-cost or higher characters to your hand to set another one of your characters as active. They have to have 7,000 power or less, but we got the perfect card in OP13. Luffy is a 6-cost, 7,000 power character that has the ability to set 4 of your Dawn cards as active when you play him. On top of that, he gets double attack, which I usually prefer over banish, so he hits like a truck and you can swing with him twice. For the rest of the turn, you won't be able to play 5-cost or higher characters, which isn't a big deal since you play mostly lower cost characters. The 4-cost Zoro is another great addition coming in OP13. On play, you can get 2 more Dawn back as active. So with just 6 Dawn, you can play Luffy, then play Zoro, and still have 2 Dawn to use as you please. Also, Zoro will restand himself in the end phase, so your opponent won't be able to run him over, and you can use him to attack twice every turn. In order to use your leader's effect, you'll need a character that you don't mind bouncing back to your hand. The 3-cost Vivi is the best card for this job. On play, she'll draw you 2 cards, as long as you have 5 or less cards in your hand. This is your most important card in your deck, since once you draw, you'll just bounce her back to your hand, and then you can draw again. You should also note that you don't need to restand one of your characters to use your leader's effect. In the beginning of the game, you want to shoot to drop her as early as possible, and oftentimes just bounce her right back to your hand right away, so your opponent can't get up to any funny business and KO her when you don't expect them to. The other card you'll want to keep dropping and bouncing back to your hand is Overtaken. I love this card. He can discard a Fishman to pop any rested character your opponent controls. You get so many draws off of Vivi that you'll always have a Fishman around, and it's also nice to get your Hody Jones out of your hand to keep your hand size down so you can keep looping Vivis. As I mentioned, I play Hody Jones, but I also play Kawamatsu, and you can play Zio too. These cards are the most convenient Fishmen to play because they're just 2k counters. But what's especially great about Kawamatsu is that he's a slash attribute, which got a great searcher in OP12. The 1-cost Perona is an amazing card in this deck, since it can grab your strongest and most useful cards. Most importantly, she grabs Vivi, which you always want to see by your 4-Dawn turn. Once you see Vivi, you'll want to keep your hand size down a little bit, which is why I also play so many counters in this deck. Unlike most decks, I'll counter out of attacks as often as possible in order to use Vivi quickly. I like to go second in this deck because you get the extra draw, and your opponent will attack you first, giving you the chance to discard some cards to protect your life. Another way to get cards out of your hand early on is with another slash attribute character, the 3-cost Mihawk. As long as you have only one other character on your field, you can play up to a 4-cost character from your hand. This is a great way to throw down a Zoro, one of your blockers like Pedro or Kushiro, or, you guessed it, Vivi. Because you're going second, you'll also want to drop your 6-cost Luffy as early as possible. If you don't have the opportunity, the 5-cost Carrot is another great card to use, since on play it'll freeze one of your opponent's characters, and then the next turn you can freeze 2 of your opponent's characters. Your game plan against most decks will be very similar, since you have one primary form of removal, and I can't stress enough how strong looping Vivi is. Against decks like Rayleigh or Red Zoro, your Pedro blockers and Carrots will be really handy for dealing with a swarm of characters. Your 4-cost Zoro is also really reliable for dealing with their board. This other 4-cost Zoro from EBO2 is another great option to play. He gains Character Rush, so you can swing with him twice right away, and you can rest one of your opponent's 4-cost or lower characters. This deck has so many different ways to play it, this is just my favorite one I've been tinkering with. Other cards that work great in this deck are the 5-cost Smoker to banish your opponent's life and gain an extra Dawn each turn, and the 5-cost Yamato, which can go for 2 double attack banish swings each turn. I'm a huge fan of the 9-cost Sanji, so you can throw this 2-cost Usopp into your deck to stack your deck, and this Nami can search them both. I don't think it's great, but I'll put Sanji in anything, I just love that card. You can also play a more film-centric deck by focusing on this 3-cost Nami, which can grab 2 cards from your deck each turn, and combos well with the other film support released in OP13. I really love this leader. I think the deck is super versatile and super underrated. How would you guys build this deck? And what deck do you want to see next? I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, it really helps me out. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.